Okay, I'll do a video. I hadn't done one for a while, but I got a new gun, so I thought I would do one on my impressions and feelings about it. This is a Browning Buckmark UDX 22 caliber long rifle, and safety check like it's supposed to do. I know it's empty, but we do it because the safety's on. We do it because we're supposed to. No such thing as an unloaded gun. But anyway, there it is. Let's going to start off by saying this is going to be one of my favorite guns. It already is. I've got about 300 rounds through it, and at the end of those 300 rounds, I'd already decided this was a never let go gun. Very fun to shoot. Of course, 22 long rifles, as long as the gun functions good, they're a great round to shoot. They're always fun. No recoil, hardly to speak of. Get right back on target. Very inexpensive. But I've been wanting these one for a while, and I've seen them reviewed on other channels, and decided this was going to be the next one I got, and I was able to get it. But it started out, I've got, it starts out with, it comes in just a regular carrying case, plastic case and everything, but it only comes with one magazine. But I noticed in that case there's a place you can put another magazine beside it. So, but from the factory it's only one magazine, so that's not too bad. But I found them online. You can find these magazines anywhere from $16 to $18, and I found them online for like between 16 and 17. So, and they were Pro Mag, so I got 4 more, and they're 10 round magazines. So and most of the time 22s come in a 50 round box, so I can just load up a box in them. And I didn't bring the other magazines in here, but those are Pro Mag. They look just exactly like this, except they don't have the Browning mark on the bottom. But this one starts out really good. The only problems I had with this was the magazines. Now, this is a stock magazine that comes with it. Of course, it fits in there good, and it ejects good. The only problem I had was the Pro Mags fit in there. They fit in there very tight. When I first put them in, I had to pry them out. I had to take a quarter and easily get in there and pop it out. But it kind of had me worried. I didn't know if that was going to work out or not. But I took it to the range, and after about the first 50 rounds to 100 rounds, they loosened up and they started coming out. Now, they don't pop out like that stock one, but once you hit the button, you can reach up there and just pull them out. They drop down a little bit and you can pull them out, which is fine with me. I'm not going to use it as a defensive gun anyway. But they do come out, and I don't know if it was a little break-in or what, but I was having problems with feeding. Of course, most of the time that's the magazine or the ammunition, and I had a problem with that, so I would just eject the round out, and it would do fine. And then I just picked them rounds up that didn't fire, load them back in, put them in, and they fired fine. But now, I fired a total of 300 rounds. At the end of that 300 rounds, they started getting a lot better. I went through the next batch was 50 rounds, so I went through all 50 rounds with no problems. Not the first speed problem or anything like that. And another thing I've noticed about these, and I've read it online, is sometimes you can get light strikes from it's not striking the primer hard. You can look on the round, which I had. There's another problem I had to start with. and you can see where the firing pin hit the primer, but it didn't ignite. And so I just eject it out and leave them off to the side, and then later on I put them in and make sure the round is oriented to where it strikes another place on it, and they fire. But now that problem also went away at the end of that session. Was the last 50 rounds I shot, no problems, no light strikes, no failure to feeds. Everything worked just fine. The magazines were loosening up even more. They were popping out on their own without having to pull on them. So I guess it was just a break-in point. So I think it'll probably get better as it goes along, in my opinion. I'm not an expert, but anyway, on this gun here, I found those were the issues to start with. And it kind of had me worried to start with, but then it just kept working in better and better and better until it cleared itself up. I'm going to go again a couple of days, put another 300 rounds to it, see how it does. I expect it to just get better. So that's my impressions of it. It's a beautiful gun. It's got these oak wood grips with a Browning logo in it. It's got a nice checkering to it. It's got a really good feel to it. I mean, I like the feel of this gun. The trigger is great, no problem with the trigger. It's got the night sights on the front. It's got adjustable windage and elevation sights on the rear. It's a blowback design. It's very easy to operate. The safety right there, it's kind of stiff, but I expect it'll work in after a while. But it works good. It's got the last round hold back, lock back on it, and it works really good. The only thing they do recommend, and it's in the manual, they recommend do not tear this down any further than what you see right there. Is just lock it back and clean it what you can there. Now, I didn't have anything set up for this. I didn't know exactly what I needed to clean it, so I was kind of going by what I need as I got to it. But I noticed that I got a cable that comes down, but this is such a tight area right here, I couldn't get a brush in there. I only had a rifle brush. You might be able to find a short brush. I found a short brush, but it wouldn't screw in. It was too small. So what I did, I just take swabs and just clean out everything I can right there. That's all I do. That's all the factory recommends. And then on this part right here, I came down this way with a nylon swab holder. It's like one of those solid ones, and coated that barrel. I went there twice and I made sure I coated the barrel with oil and left it. And what I did, I just swabbed this out real good and cleaned off everything around the feed and the ramp and everything. And then what I did, I didn't have anything else. I thought, well, I've got a bore rope for my AR 223, and same thing 222. I said, well, let me give it a try. You know, what can you do? So I fed my bore rope through there, and it fed through there fine. It came out, and I pulled it through, went through real nice. I did it again, did it twice, and I checked that barrel, and it's just as shiny as can be. Just beautiful. So if you got a bore rope for an AR, you can just use that, because that's what I did, and I have no problems with it. I just made sure I put some oil on the barrel to begin, coat it, let it sit for a while so it'll soften up the residue. And then I pulled that rope through there twice, and it just done a perfect job. It looks beautiful down through there. So that's my cleaning technique. I thought I'd pass it along in case anybody else wants to try it. But it's a beautiful gun. I could just tell by the way it fired that I'll always keep this gun. I love my 22s. I have a 22 rifle, Smith & Wesson 1522. That's another keep forever. But I wanted a nice 22 pistol, so I didn't have to take a rifle every time I wanted to shoot 22s. The only other 22 I got a revolver, and I didn't want to keep loading up a revolver, so. And I just wanted a gun, you know, I wanted this gun, so I swung it and I got it. And so I just want to let you know what I thought about it. It's that's about all I can say about it right now. Is it had those problems to start with, kind of had me worried, but it broke in. It seemed like at the end of 3 rounds is all it took to break it in, because I didn't have any more problems after that. No light strikes, no magazine sticking, no feed problems, and that was it. But that's the Browning Buckmark UDX 22 long rifle. I'd have to give it a good recommendation. It's a beautiful gun. It fires nice, and looking forward to getting back over there and do some more break-in on it. So, y'all have a good evening.